Hey VC, this is Jacob from Moon Rock, back with a new video. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that the weather is good and in your neck of the woods. This video is recorded on April the 8th. It's been a beautiful Sunday. We've had almost 20 degrees Celsius, so it's been really like you can just smell the spring in the air. The birds have been chirping away all day. I've seen bumblebees, I've seen butterflies, and some very clear signs of the fact that spring is finally here. 1 week ago today, I was outside shoveling snow. Our driveway here is about 15 by 30 meters or so, and we had like a thick layer of snow, like 20 centimeters, that I shoveled. I spent 3 or 4 hours shoveling snow, and today, instead of 20 centimeters of snow, it's been nearly 20 degrees Celsius. So hopefully this is the end of winter and the beginning of spring, and let's pray that we don't get any snow for the next at least 6 months, if not 8 months. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to do this video. Until now, that I have mainly done videos showing new records that I've purchased. You know, vinyl finds, needle drops, and so on. And then I've also done one contest entry. I guess I'm just starting to feel confident in doing this, and starting to have a desire to expand on the type of videos that I'm doing. So this video will be a bit different than the previous ones. I will be talking about the upcoming Record Store Day, which is in 13 days, Saturday, April 21st. And I will go through the records that I am looking to get, and some that I'm still considering. There are quite a lot of records, and I will not be able to afford all of them. I will try my very best to be able to afford as many as possible, but yeah, it's once again this year will be very expensive. So Record Store Day, the opinions are very divided, very split. I've taken part in 3 Record Store Days the past 3 years. 3 years ago, I came to the store like, I think 20 minutes, actually 30 minutes after they'd opened, and I was outside the store that I went to. We were still like 50 people in line or something. The past 2 years, I've been getting up early. I live in the outskirts in Denmark, and I have to drive to Copenhagen. It's about a 75-minute drive, and so what I've done the past 2 years is that I've started the car at 5 a.m. in the morning, and gotten to the store around 6:30 a.m. 2 years ago, I was second in line. Last year I was third in line, and actually we were the same 3 guys. We just changed up the order in the row a little bit, so that was quite funny. And so that is what I have to do, basically to you know, make sure that I get the records that I want. A lot of people don't like Record Store Day, and I get the arguments that, you know, every day should be Record Store Day. I get that, and not just one single day with a lot of records available that you know are well, some of them are really not that needed. You know, there are a lot of 7-inch singles being released, 7-inch singles of songs that have been out on various albums, even singles previously. Like last year they had a 7-inch of Aha's Take On Me, which is you know, one of the most sold songs of the 80s. I don't really see a need for a 7-inch release of that one. In this year's list, there's a 7-inch release of Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll. Do we really need that? I don't know. You know, Led Zeppelin fans do, maybe. I don't know. I personally don't. And the thing is with all of these records that really there is no demand for, they're just clogging up the production lines and at the record plants, and making it difficult for normal bands to release their normal releases, and that of course is not good. But I am once again this year taking part in Record Store Day, and these are some of the records that I'm looking to get. So what I've done is that I've printed the American list, or the worldwide list, I guess, and then also a European list, because in Europe we have a lot of releases that are Europe only, just like you have a lot of releases that are US only, I guess. So I've printed both lists, and I will be going through the records that I'm looking to get. So if I start with the US list, sorry, I'm still suffering from like a sore throat or something. It's really annoying. It's been going on for quite some time now. I'm coughing. But I got my beer here in my Mikkeller glass, and I am enjoying a Mikkeller Vegetable Pilsner. Mikkeller is my favorite brewery of all the breweries in the world. It's a Danish brewery. I'm not much of a Pilsner guy, but or lager guy, but Mikkeller, as always, they put so many hops in their beers, so this is much more like a pale ale. So that's really, really good. The American list, let me start off with that one. So there is the Arcade Fire are releasing an EP. Will be 3,000 units worldwide, and basically this is the EP that they released prior to their debut album Funeral. So it has songs on there that I've never heard. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Or I hope that I will be able to purchase it. 3,000 units is not a lot. But I'm going to like the best record store in Copenhagen, and I'm hoping that they will have this on their shelves. So I'm looking to get that one. Also, one of my favorite indie bands, Belly, will be releasing a 12-inch called Feel. Now this is, I've read up on this, this is 2 new tracks. They've gotten back together. I think they split up in like the mid-end 90s or something. They've gotten back together and have recorded new music, and they're going on tour as well across Europe, and I think also the States for some festival gigs. Sadly not in Denmark. This is a 10-inch single with 2 songs. Will be there will be 2,000 copies worldwide. If I see it, I might buy it. It's probably gonna be really expensive for 2 songs, but yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can control myself and maybe not buy it, because there are a lot of records that I want to get, and my top record this Record Store Day is Jeff Buckley, and the did I even punch Jeff Buckley? I think I did. Jeff Buckley and Live at Chennai, the Legacy Edition, which is this album here. I think, yeah, it is the Legacy Edition. This is my CD copy. It's a 2-disc CD, and it will be a 4-disc record set. So this is the complete Live at Chennai release with a lot of songs here. There are some really great covers on here. Of course, also Jeff's own songs, but Be Your Husband, which I think is it a Nina Simone song? I think it is. There's a Led Zeppelin cover, there's a Van Morrison cover, obviously, The Way Young Lovers Do, which he was famous for doing. There are some of Jeff's own songs, Eternal Life, Grace, Mojo Pen, and my favorite cover by Jeff Buckley is this one. If you can see it, Ye jo halka halka jasurur hai, or something like that. I don't speak Pashto that well. A song originally released by Nusrat Ali Fateh Khan, brilliant singer. So this will be released on vinyl finally. Sorry, and this is my #1 priority, and I'm really hoping to get this one. It'll be hell expensive. It'll be like 500 krona, which is like, I don't know, $80-90 or something. But I need this on vinyl, so I will get it. Fingers crossed. 2,500 copies released worldwide. Not a lot, but as long as there's one for me, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. So, one of my favorite bands of all time are The Cure. And they are releasing their Mixed Up album, re-releasing it on picture disc. Yeah. And they are also releasing a new mix album called Torn Down. So Mixed Up and Torn Down. So again, I've looked them up on the internet just to get some info on the albums. Mixed Up is this one, or this is the original rather, from 1990, which I got back then. And they're re-releasing this. No no new mixes, no new additions to the track list, but it is a picture disc release. 7,000 units. I'm not really a big fan of this album. I love The Cure. This is like, this mix compilation is, I never really liked it that much. If I know myself, I will be buying it because I'm an ass, you know, I'm an asshole, I'm an idiot, and I have way too much money, I guess. I will most likely be buying the re-release, even though I have it on the original and I don't really enjoy it. The Torn Down, the other, yeah, you know, just speaking some truth here. The other album, Torn Down, is, like I said, a new mix album. I looked at the track list online, and there is one song from each of the original Cure albums in new remixes. So I'm really hoping to get that one. Also a picture disc. Both of them are available in 7,000 units, 7,000 copies. So I think there's a good chance of picking up at least one of them, and maybe both of them. Going on. Yeah, this is also stupid. I'm a big Madonna fan, and they are releasing 2 Madonna reissues. So it's the first album and it's the You Can Dance compilation. Both of them, I believe, are, well, at least the first album is a picture disc, and the other one is not. But it will be released, You Can Dance will be released with an Obi strip. The first album is 5,300 copies, and the You Can Dance album is 4,350 copies. Oh, I didn't pick out the You Can Dance one, but you probably know that already. So you might be saying, if you're in the US, you might be saying, what's, you know, the first album was just called Madonna, and you're right. That was this one. That was her first album, her debut album called Madonna. And what they did when she finally made it big in Europe a couple of years later is that they re-released her debut album with this cover, and then it was called the first album. So this one is being re-released on picture disc. It will sound crappy, most likely, but I will be buying it. And then also the You Can Dance album, which I didn't pick out from my Madonna collection over there, will basically be the same album with an Obi strip, and I'm gonna get that as well, I guess. You know, that's what, you know, even though I'm a Madonna fan and I'm a collector, is there really a need for these releases? Not really, but you know, idiots like me will be buying them anyway. Yeah. Another release that I'm looking to get is, or maybe you'll be looking to get, is Pink Floyd and Piper at the Gates of Dawn in a mono release. 6,000 units. Should be able to get that one as well, I think. And then there is an artist that I actually haven't really taken the time to get into him, but Sufjan Stevens, who of course is very, very popular. I know his Carry On Lowell album, and I've heard some of his other tracks. He's releasing the Mystery of Love EP. Mystery of Love, of course, is the song that was used in that film, and he was nominated for an Oscar, and I don't recall the name of the film. He played at the Oscars. I was up all night watching it. I don't recall anymore. This is 10,000 units. It's one of the biggest number of units available for a single title. I'm looking to get that one as well. And then Tom Waits, they are re-releasing. Let me just show you the CD. He did this back in 2006, and he released this 3 CD box. It was also released on vinyl back then, and the original is, you know, it is available if you want to pay a shitload of money for it. But this 3-disc release called Orphans, Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards is being re-released on vinyl. And instead of doing a box with all 3 albums, they are releasing them as single albums. So, they're on here on the list. Ballers, Brawlers, and Bastards. They are each 4,500 units. And I'm looking to get that because this is a brilliant album. Rumors are that they are actually re-releasing this entire package as a box, as a vinyl box, later this year. But they are rumors, and it's not sure that they will be doing that. So I'm looking to get these ones. It will most likely be, you know, with these 3 single albums, it will still be cheaper than buying the box set. So used. So I will be doing that. Next one that I'm looking to get, maybe, is this Bert Jansch. Here he is, LA Turnaround. It's only available in 500 copies, and I'm not sure that it will be available at the store that I'm looking to visit. If you saw my last video, I picked up 4 Bert Jansch albums lately at a flea market for a very, very good price, and I'm really digging these albums, and starting, you know, just really starting to get into Bert Jansch, and really love his music. And I've been this album LA Turnaround was recommended to me that I should definitely check that out as well. So it's very interesting that it will be released on Record Store Day. So I'm looking to get that one as well. Just going through the last of the pages here. I don't recall where I put all of the crosses or the X's. Yeah, there was one here. Another release that I'm looking to get. Ride, the shoegaze band from the 90s, Ride, are releasing a remix 12-inch of some of the songs from their latest album, Weather Diaries, which was a really good comeback album. 1,350 units released. If I see it, I might get it. It's not a priority, but you know, if it's there, maybe I'll get it. One that I'm really looking to get is this Neil Young. They are releasing a live album called Tonight's the Night, live at the Roxy. 7,500 double album, 7,500 copies are available worldwide. Should be really good. So like mid-70s Neil Young live. Big Neil Young fan, and looking to get that as well. So that was the US list. I'm digging into the Europe list here. Of course, most of the albums here are the same as the US list, but there are some some Europe-only releases that are pretty exciting as well. So one of my favorite albums of last year was by the French actress and singer Charlotte Gainsbourg, who is of course the daughter of Serge Gainsbourg, and you know, the brilliant French and very controversial French musician and also movie maker, I believe. And then Jane Birkin was the mother of Charlotte Gainsbourg, and she released an album last year called Rest, which was just brilliantly executed French pop music, just beautiful album. And they are releasing a 12-inch with remixes. Haven't looked it up, not sure exactly what songs are on here, but as I really enjoyed the album, I'm looking to get that as well. Yeah, as you can see already now, it's gonna be hell expensive. Yeah, I will be expecting calls from my bank, from my advisor at the bank, telling me to cool down and stop being an idiot, stop using all my money on records. Another release that I'm looking to get is, I'll show you the CD. This is a German composer called Max Richter, or Max Richter if you're an American. The album is called The Blue Notebooks. And you can't see it because it's upside down, so there it is, there we go. He's a classical composer, and this album is so beautiful. It was released, I think, in the 2005 or 2004 it was released. I can see it's on my computer. And brilliant classical, ambient, like modern classical, ambient, spoken word. Such a good album, and it is the 15 years. Well, it's not 15 years. If this was released in 2004, that only makes it 14 years. Why are they calling it a 15 years release? They can't count, I guess. Anyways, it's a brilliant album. I'm not sure how many copies will be available, but I'll be looking to get this one on vinyl. Brilliant album. And another brilliant album that I have on CD is this one by the Scottish post-rock band Mogwai. This is a compilation called 10 Rapid. Sorry. Compilation of some of their first singles and EPs. This compilation was released before their debut album Young Teen, which is a masterpiece. One of the best albums from the 90s, I think, at least. This compilation was released prior to that debut album. Of course, was also done on record back then. It's so expensive. I'll be looking to get the reissue. As you can see here, it's on the list. Mogwai, 10 Rapid. Very happy that will be released at Record Store Day. Let me just go through the rest of the list here. Oh yes, also one of my top priority records. I listen to all kinds of music, from classical to pop to rock to metal to electronic music, and one of the actually few pop artists that have really caught my attention lately is a Norwegian singer called Sigrid, or as it is pronounced in Norwegian, Sigrid. And she released an EP last year electronically called Don't Kill My Vibe, and it will get a vinyl release for this Record Store Day. 4 songs on here, beautiful songs. She's a young woman, she's 21 now, I believe, but she's such a brilliant songwriter. And her singing, her voice, is just amazing. Her talent is just unbelievable. I'm really happy that will be released on vinyl. Let me just check. I think there are 2 records left that I'm looking to get. Yeah, 2 more to go. one of my, one of the best bands of the 90s is the British band Spiritualized. If you know good music, you know their album, well, you know all of their albums, but you specifically know the album Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating into Space. And if you don't know it, you should check it out. It's an psychedelic rock, pop, well, it's not pop, but there are pop influences, but rock and gospel and psych and lots and lots and lots and lots of drugs. I don't do drugs, neither should you, but thankfully Jason Pierce, who is basically Spiritualized, took a shitload of drugs throughout the 90s and released some of the best music. Just some of the best music. And prior to Spiritualized, he was in a band called The Spacemen 3. And they are re-releasing an album which, very fittingly, speaking of drugs, is called Taking Drugs to Make Music to Take Drugs to. Yeah. So Taking Drugs to Make Music to Take Drugs to. And it features one of the best songs of the 90s. No, that's not that one. That's the Spiritualized one coming up. Yeah, sorry. But that is a brilliant album, and I will be looking to get that Spaceman 3 album. Just ridiculous noise, psych, brilliant. And then Spiritualized are also getting a re-release of their album called Fucked Up Inside. That features one of the best songs of the 90s called Medication. I just remember seeing that on MTV in the early 90s in 120 Minutes, and it just blew my freaking mind. Although I, like I said, would never do drugs, neither should you. You can only be grateful that this guy took so many drugs and made such a beautiful album, such great music. Clearly he had a problem with it, and I shouldn't be joking about it, but because he clearly had a problem with it, and was heavily dependent on the drugs, and that was not good. But he made some brilliant music. So Spaceman 3 and Spiritualized are the last records that I've at least marked in the lists. Now there will be other records when I'm in line, or when I'm going flipping through the crates, that will probably also be interesting. But you also have to limit, put a limit on it. You can always start by saying I will only spend this much money, and then when you've picked out records like worth $100 or $200 more, then you go, shit, what am I doing? What will I do? I need to select the really hardcore albums that I really need, and that's gonna be me. And I plan to do a video on my trip to Record Store Day. I probably won't be able to record that much on video when I'm actually in the store, but I will try to document getting up at crazy early hours, driving to Copenhagen, standing in line in front of the store like 3 hours prior to the store opening, and then gonna be showing you the records that I've picked up. So I'm looking forward to Record Store Day once again, and I hope you are too. If you want to, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to, you can subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Also, are you going to Record Store Day? What records are you looking to get? Do you think Record Store Day is a good idea? Do you think it's a stupid idea? Let me know in the comments below, and share your thoughts on the whole Record Store Day extravaganza. And yeah, until next time, cheers, bye bye.